Bam, bam, bam. He or she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now,
We're coming. Get our check.
Cheryl Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
That was it was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed your name. It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips. Your hair. Y'all know I can't sing, but I'm always excited to be here on America's favorite podcast about Afro hair. That's right. Welcome to a lovely, lovely another episode of The Dumbest. Now tonight, we gonna really talk about the dumbest shit that people say about black hair. And it could be anybody's hair, okay? And this one is about hair care products. The truth about cheap versus expensive. So I have some cheap stuff here. You can't get white rain, baby. This is so cheap, it's $1. And then we got the fancy, we dad. Ooh, that's some expensive stuff. So it's me, your homegirl, Ladosha Wright, aka Linga, in case you don't know. That's Willa for Queen, Key Lolo. And then right over there is the one and only Cheryl Morrow, aka the Hair Oracle. And this particular podcast is really for consumers who are wasting time, wasting money. Maybe you're concerned about wasting time, wasting money. We're a real life cosmetologist. I'm also an author. I'm also an activist. Well, I did some activists. I'm gonna show you about my activism, okay? Cheryl is a cosmetic trichologist. She's an author. She's also the heiress to the California Curl Empire. And we're both Afro Hair Science just junkies, okay? So we're using this, we're pushing this, we're promoting this education, not only for professionals, but for the public as well. So if this is something that you're just really interested in, if you're a skeptic, or if you're like me, El Cheapo. Speaking of El Cheapo, wasn't it some Mexican drug lord? Let me get his name. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm from the project, so y'all already know how it was going to go down. I gotta get his name. I think it wasn't, let me see, Mexican drug lord that was just killed. There, it just popped right up, okay? Let me see, what was his name? Oh, they didn't put his name up there. Let's see, what was his name? And they burning down Mexico over this guy. I mean, El Mencho, okay? So you got El Mencho, and then you have Kilolo, El Cheapo. You got El Chapo, El Mencho. Hey, El Cheapo. You can't get more cheaper than some. Everything on me is cheap, okay? I'm going to tell y'all how cheap I am. Sure, I'm so cheap.
How cheap?
I am so cheap. I put clear polish on top of my jewelry to keep it from changing colors. I am so cheap. One more shot. No. I am so cheap.
How cheap?
You guys say how cheap are you?
How cheap?
I wear fake furs. I am so cheap. I wear fake furs, baby. These furs are these glasses, baby. Okay. I got this from TJ Maxx, baby. And you see these glasses right here? Hold on, boo boo kitty. They look real good, don't they? Dollar store. Well, $1.25. If you like me, hit the heart button, and come on. We got the wonderful topic 100, and we got a lot of episodes in. I said we get to 200. I'm gonna stop counting, but we're getting with like 180 something episodes here. And again, we're talking about hair care products. The truth, what makes them cheap, what makes them expensive. And I mean, if you guys are like me, just go ahead on. You can put the $sign after you hit the thumbs up button. Because y'all know we're going to have a... Come on, y'all so nice. They done hit the heart button. We just love y'all because we really, really care. Right, Cheryl?
It's like we care.
We do care. We do care. But Cheryl, you cheap. Isn't anybody else in the chat cheap? Look, I'm going to tell y'all, Cheryl, you know the first time we went to...
What?
I'm going to tell them what y'all took. When I got off the airplane, I'm going to tell y'all what she took me to. Me and my niece, Coos Nelly. She took us to the mall and we went to Kirk Geiger. I'm about to order me some shoes after I pay my rent. Now, I ain't gonna lie, he gonna get my money, but I'm gonna pay my rent. I gotta pay my taxes too. I'm paying my taxes. And I'm go ahead. It's that time. Y'all know it's that time. I'm gonna pay them little taxes. Them a lot of taxes. I'm gonna pay my rent. I'm not paying my cell phone bill. I'm getting those shoes. Okay. But sure, you say you're not cheap. If y'all cheap, come on, y'all, let us know.
Okay, so let me just say this. I have to buy my specs for my eyes. I at least paid $17 for these.
$17?
Mm-hmm.
She paid $17 for her glasses. $125, baby. It's a store. I don't know if these stores are dollar stores like all throughout America, where they are all over Cleveland. I don't know about other places, but they're called the Dollar Tree. I'm sorry. It's called the Dollar Tree. If you have a Dollar Tree in your store, we do too, because I need to know who out here cheap. You know what I'm saying? Now, y'all know what's up, Tanya. I see you, boo. I miss you over here on Instagram. That's my homegirl, her mama. Y'all know I had to put your business out there, but this Sadie's daughter, Cheryl, we love Dr. Winlock. Dr. Winlock's daughter is over here on Instagram showing us some love. In case you guys are wondering who the French toast and bologna sandwich is, Dr. Winlock and her daughter. They are staunch supporters of Ladosha and Cheryl, number one. Okay. Number two, they helped me install a small classroom-sized library, but it's much bigger now in the Gambia at the Gay and Joral Skills Academy. So big ups to Sadie Winlock and her daughter, Tanya, who I love so much. I miss her. She done left me, y'all, but that's okay. I still love you, boo. But I hate to put your business out there like that. But she is, you can't get anywhere in life without people, supporting you. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I like y'all showing us love tonight. We got our virtual co-host Weekend, and Sandra LB told me she had to get home, but she did have a bologna sandwich. I tried to share a bologna sandwich with my granddaughter. She was like, "Oh, hell no, Grandma. That." She like, "Grandma, listen here, you gonna have to get that little cheap stuff together, because we're gonna be a lot of things. We're gonna be partners, but what we not gonna be is we are not going to be cheap." That's what my my granddaughter is not interested in no bologna sandwich. But that's okay, LB. That's just more bologna. We got Christiana Carnegie is in the chat. And in case you guys are like, I don't think I remember Christiana, well, let us freshen your memory, because this is what we do here on the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel. Let me pull up our little remind them who she is. Now, y'all, some of y'all probably done forgot, but last Thursday we had her on, and she did a wonderful job giving us an introduction to the history of Annie Turbo Malone. And we're going to be back for part 2, All These Mysterious Facts, is going down with Christiana Carnegie. She is actually an Annie Turbo Malone history specialist. So when I tell you she got the grapes, she's got the grapes. So you make sure you guys come back with your notebooks and take some notes, and let's help debunk some of these myths. So she's going to be back here with us at 5 p.m. and that's going to be on West Coast. But if you're on my time, it's going to be 8 p.m. EST. So please save your time. Put a little reminder on your phone. You can kind of set your calendars. That's your timers. That's what I do to make sure I don't miss Yate. Yate had a really good podcast last night. Me, WK, and Sandra, we was in the chat like, you know, it was going down. You know what I'm saying?
I was in there for a minute.
You was in there for a minute.
We
keep telling y'all better get on Real Roots. We really try to give you guys like we try to give you guys the grapes on on what else to watch, because we don't want y'all to think, it's just, we don't want y'all to think it's just me and Cheryl. It's other people on these platforms that's doing some really good things. It's not just me and Cheryl. So y'all make sure y'all check out Yate over right here. She's on all the platforms that we're on, and it's called Real Roots. Okay, so you guys can check her out. So that's what we got going on. And one other thing, let me just show this video before we get started. We're doing pretty good on this time here. Okay, I did a thing over the weekend, and then this is just as if you haven't voted your oh snap, it's JB is in the house, not JB's monorail, but Jonathan Butler, the supreme. I'm talking about the creme de la creme of all of your natural herbs and roots. You know what he taught me, Cheryl? You got to get rid of. I was like, oh, it's so bitter. He said, you got to get used to the bitter. Stop eating all that sugar and shit. I was like, oh. Hey, you guys would be proud to know that for the vernal equinox fast, which, by the way, John introduced us to the vernal equinox. But anywho, we're going to be doing a sugar fast. The entire Reverence Design team. John, aren't you so proud of us, John? We're going to ditch sugar for 30 days. And I know y'all think I might have this plan, but Cheryl said we need to be putting chlorophyll in our water. So I've got some here. So, John, I know you ain't think you know, but I did something, okay? So we're going to invite everybody to join us on that too. So we had chat help create us a little menu. Look at Auntie Dr. Joy and Cheryl. You guys are going to be so proud of us. We're determined to do this as a team. No sugar for 30 days. It has a way to introduce you. It's just not like going to cold turkey, but it's going to, break it down, and we're not going to make any excuses. No alcohol, because, it's a lot. I didn't know alcohol was considered. Be quiet, Cheryl. Cheryl, like, come on, Kilolo. Cheryl don't drink, so this is Cheryl don't really. Cheryl, do you eat sugar?
Now I'm gonna answer this the Cheryl Morrow way. If I eat sugar, or if I eat sweets, and Mr. Butler, I hope you would appreciate this, I'm not gonna waste it on no cheap sugar. I'm going to eat organic key lime pie with some lime. I'm not going to waste it on no shit from no 7-Eleven. I ain't going to do that. I'm going to eat good desserts from some culinary. I'm not going to waste it. And if I'm not, I'm going to have, there you go. Okay? If you going to drink something, if I'm going to drink coffee, I'm going to drink some good coffee. I'm going to drink some mushroom coffee. I'm going to have put some cacao in it. I'll put some cinnamon in it and some cayenne. I'm not going to waste. I might as well eat the good stuff.
Wow, you got a lot of support in this chat. Okay, Washington, no candy bars. Girl, I really don't eat candy bars occasionally. I used to eat a Snickers, like but I will be honest.
We gonna eat some, if we gonna eat, that's what we gonna do. Every time my sisters come here, we go to C's. We have 1 or 2 pecan buds. Eat some good shit if that's what you gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Don't be screwing it up with. And then I'm like, Mr. Butler, if y'all gonna have some soda, y'all just get some mineral water and get you a nice juice. Some ginger, some lemon, some apple cider vinegar, and put a little, watermelon juice in there, and you got some soda. Or you drinking it just for the burn anyway. That's how
I guess she read me, huh, y'all? Look, how y'all say clock it. I don't even know why does this mean clock it, but anyway.
Look. I'm trying to keep this sister here for a long time.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick around, but I'm gonna do it. John, you'd be proud. You'd be so very proud. So let me show you what I did over the weekend. We're gonna hop into this. The whole entire Reverence Design team. We're gonna invite our clients, our customers, our social media family to join us and talk about our journey. And it already let us know we're gonna have some withdrawals. So anywho, I don't want to give up the grapes, but anywho, we'll talk about it a little bit more on that first Thursday of March with Auntie Dr. Joy, who's going to help us. Maybe she will. Sure, can you ask her if she can help us kick that off on that Thursday? Get us all prepped for sugar fasting. Okay, so we'll see if she's willing to do that as a topic. If she is, we'll create a nice graphic for you. But before we get into the topic, I just want to share with you guys a thing that I did over the weekend for a young lady who is running for state representative in Arizona. And I just really wanted to take this time to encourage my fellow cosmetologists, or maybe you have a business space. We need to get our people elected. So here's what I did. So let me just share that with you before we get into the topic of hair care products of truth about cheap versus expensive. So here we go. Check this out. These are the hands of a working cosmetologist. What's up to all my fellow beauty and barber professionals? It's me, your homegirl, Ladosha Wright, aka Key Lolo, and your fellow salon owner located in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. I'm inviting you all to use your business or your loft spaces to host fundraisers just like what you're seeing right here for your favorite Democrat candidate running for office. These images captures my fundraising efforts for my dear friend Dr. Raquel Armstrong, who's running for state representative in Arizona's District 13, which is also a part of the Phoenix-Chandler area. Some of y'all may not be aware, but Arizona's District 13 is a flippable state. What that means, we're all in this together from Ohio to Arizona. I'm asking you for your financial support to vote Dr. Raquel Armstrong into office as the Democrat who leads with strength and fights with purpose. Visit Rocky4AZ.com to make your contribution right now. Beauty and barber professionals, this is our legacy. All right. Thank you, Cheryl. Did you like that? And Christiana is gonna help us understand. This really is what we should be doing, guys. Cheryl, I know your father. God, dog. His funeral. I attended it online. He had like every politician. Like they all had something to say about what he did for their careers, all different ethnicities and both sides, Democrats and Republicans. And wow, what a major contribution that your father did, which is something that we all should be doing. But this particular platform, I know it's for the consumers, but if you're a hairstylist or a barber or, a natural hairstylist, you have a loft or a salon space, hey, y'all, we got to, as Michelle Obama would say, do something. Because Cheryl, talk a little bit about, what your dad did, and we're going to slide right on into this topic here.
Going through some of the recent pictures, of course. And I was just saying that I just remodeled my parents' home. And let me just say this. And one of the reasons why I was so frustrated, because the house is 70 to 100 square feet. But there was a reason for that. Because Mr. Morrow understood that with us having an economy, which means a good, strong tax base in Main Street to where we can pay our bills, get traffic lights and good schools and good policemen and all that good stuff. But it's very important that we support the politicians, because they fight on our behalf to get things that we need. Okay. And we need to not only just support them as in holding these types of things, but hairstylists historically, barbers historically, have been the financiers and the pillars of the political and activists and the protester and the marches and all of the social change that has happened in our community. We were at the pillars of that because, of course, our profession and our industry allowed us to do that. And so, I mean, kudos to you, Ladosha. It's tradition. It's tradition. Yeah. No one gets into office. The number one pathway to the council seat, the assembly seat, right? And the federal seat, the courts, and all of the Senate and Congress is through a salon and barber chair.
Right.
So my hat's off to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Also, hello to Solomon, the entrepreneur, over on Instagram. We got King ABM, WNRV 1081, and Uncle Fuels. What's happening, good people? We do appreciate you all support. And again, just to reiterate, even if you're not working in our industry and you do have some influence, the financial contributions, a lot of people, we kind of, we make these dollars and everything, and we think we don't want to get politically involved, but we got to help y'all, because we're always complaining. I don't like the Democrats. I don't do this. I don't like the Republicans. I don't like to mix politics. I don't like, we have to do something with these spaces. And I know we don't see ourselves as people of influence, but seriously, guys, we truly are people of influence. If you have the average, really, let's just say, to be honest, the average cosmetologist and barber, nail tech, natural hairstylist and esthetician, at least we're seeing 3 people a day. And if you do 3 people a day times the 5 days you meet, that's 15. And if you do that, times the next week, that's 30, that's 45. You see what I'm saying? So all that starts to add up. And if you got 45 people, if you got half of them to donate at least $5, and you took some of your tips, like the event that I hosted, the food was only $75. The swag bags was like $12. And then I made my own personal financial contribution. So it doesn't take a lot, but the impact, as you can see, it lasts a lifetime, because to be honest, like Cheryl say, ain't none of us never picked no cotton. None of us, we don't know anything about not being able to drink from a water fountain. Women, we can open up our business. You heard Christiana Carnegie say that, Annie Turbo Malone and Madam C.J. Walker, they had to have a man to buy property. I mean, some of this stuff, y'all, we don't even know. We can't even comprehend, because those women and those men donated. They looked outside of themselves to do something. So that this is a serious plea that we've got to be able to help. So so that's it. That's my thing here. So let's get into this topic tonight. What's up, Yate? I told everybody to go check you out. You had a great show on Sunday. I know I was just in there just pouring out my little heart. But anywho, she like, don't you need therapy? So tonight it's the truth about cheap, and I brought up some cheap, what's considered cheap. Anything like White Rain, this hairspray, it retails seriously $1. Okay, and then you have some expensive hair care products, like We Dad. Okay, and this literally, I mean, it retails for about a good, depending on where you live or if you buy it online, you're looking at least 25 to 30 bucks for this beautiful. It's a great product too. So let's get everybody going, because these are consumers here in the chat, and the first thing people want to know, Cheryl, is, we just gonna cut through the chase in case some of y'all gotta go, but hit the thumbs up button on your way out, and don't forget to subscribe. What 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 is a cheap product and what is an expensive product? Let's go there, and let's help them understand, because that's something that we get in the hair salon a lot. Is you got some people that are like, I only want the best, I want the best. And then you got people like me, that's Key Lolo. So we have people here on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram who are interested in knowing exactly what it is, what makes one cheap, what makes one expensive. Because you were born, I hate to say it, but you were bred. So this is your wheelhouse. It's not mine. So y'all don't be asking me, okay? I got my notebook, Sandra. I know y'all think because I know short, I know what she don't. No, the hell I don't. I do not know what she knows. So I got my notebook. I'm ready to take notes. So this is what you do. You were born in it. You were raised around it. So what is it? What is cheap? What is expensive?
So if I wanted to make something real quick and I had a rush job and the person, and I knew that it was going down to basically the homeless shelter. It is what it is. I would get the least expensive ingredients if I'm making soap, so it can go a long way. It's effective. It's not the creme de la creme that's going to be in the Monaco, in the French Riviera hotel. It's not going to be in the Plaza, but it will do the job. So, in other words, if the ingredient is what we call ubiquitous, if it's found in large quantities and it is for consumer use, it is going to be less expensive. Which means
now ubiquitous. Wasn't that the name of wasn't that the name of Roy Ayers' album, Ubiquitous? I'm sorry, guys, I'm being petty. What is ubiquitous? Help us out. I'm telling my age. Well, he did have an album called Ubiquitous. But anywho, what does that mean? What is ubiquitous? Help us out.
Common. Found most everywhere. Everyone can get this particular product, and you can get it in vast quantities for discount, a bargain. Okay, which means it in the material world, it's manufactured ubiquitously. So it's common. It's always in demand. It doesn't carry a demand, a high demand, even though it's high demand, but it's low grade enough to where it's enough to go around, so it doesn't cause inflation. Okay, so let's just say if I want a premium, if I pull and I want to put caviar, okay, caviar is rich in protein and iron, right? And I wanted to put caviar. Caviar is a low demand, but it's hard to get because it's in a product that only a few and specialty customers. But let me just say this, but more importantly, the consumer market drives the El Cheap consumers. And what we call in salon or expensive products, those have low demand, and they go under a specialty category. But because now that the information, education, training, and social media, now the common person, just the consumer, wants all the things they're talking about in social media now. And so now they're making a differentiation between expensive and salon and professional. But in certain categories, y'all, this remains to be true, except in one. There is an exception when the El Cheapo is better than the expensive. Okay? Because all this is two things: follow the money, high material costs, is going to be expensive in the retail dollar. Second, it is okay, so if it costs a lot for me to buy it from a wholesaler, I'm going to pass it on like a tariff.
Oh.
Okay.
I see, said the wise man. Okay.
Make sense? Follow me,
sense.
guys? Okay. Now, with that being said, but in once the consumer, if the consumer body is big, then the products are going to be cheaper. Now, but there's one exception, and you guys are going to not agree with me, but the other only thing to determine professional, good, high grade, low grade El Cheapo is your fingertips. And so the marketing departments in these companies are depending on your fingertip to make the decision if something's good or not. Does that make sense?
Oh, I dropped my toy. This is the old song. Okay, so I play with my granddaughter too much. What's up? We got my boss, L. Jones is in the chat. Y'all dropped them L's for Lavina. We also got the one and only Sir Pooh rocking it out with us over on Instagram. And so we got 3 ways. So cheap is really, so you're really saying it's something that's the ingredients that are more readily available is going to make that product very affordable. The ingredients that are sold to an exclusive set of people or cost more, that's gonna cost more. And then now help us with, can you just let's rock this out a little bit more. What does our fingertips do that will interpret that something is cheap or something that is expensive? Because you're not going to get this information anyplace else but from right here on the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel. We don't want you consumers to be duped out here. So what is it about our fingertips that's going to tell us, ooh, it's cheap, or ooh, trust the man, ooh, la la, expensive. Okay. Okay, she liked that one. Okay.
So, unfortunately, and this is going to be a racist statement. Okay. Rough means cheap. Smooth means expensive.
Are you serious?
Okay. Texture means bad to the brain. Okay. Right? Now, smooth means nice to the brain. Okay.
Now wait, is that trained or is this?
Now I just told you that the hairstylist. I'm sorry.
Is this something that's innate? Like, do humans, we just naturally think that this rough is cheap, or are we taught that smooth is better and rough is cheap? I'm just talking about me, y'all. I'm sorry, sure, I mean to interrupt.
yes and no until we need to switch. That's when we code switch. And we need a rope. Now a smooth rope would be not in our brain, not what we want. Or when we code and we want something else in our mind as something that we want it to be rough and tough. So if something is smooth, so it's almost like I want my hair thick. See, fine, smooth, thin hair is not good when we code switch to whatever material that we want or what we want to, yeah. And so if I want a nice wool, I don't want it to feel like silk.
That is very powerful. That's a, oh man, can we just drop the bomb on that one? Because that just gives us something to think about when we will code switch. That, I'm gonna drop the bomb one more again, and if y'all feel me, put a bomb emoji in the chat. So we flip the script. When we want the hair to be this way, whoops, sorry guys. When we want the hair to be like this, then the product, it could be good. But then if it's like this, it's bad. And that's interesting because I do tell the story, and if I've said it before and you've heard it, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No. Just to make your point right quick, because we don't expect a clarifier to make the hair smooth. Because if we expected a clarifier to make the hair smooth, we would say that it didn't work. I'm not using that. That clarifying shampoo is watered down because I don't get the squeak. See, when we code switch, when we grab that conditioning shampoo, we code switch and we want now it to be smooth because our brain wants it to feel healthy. Clean means rough, smooth means healthy in our brain. Now, as professionals, we're not supposed to be doing that.
But they teach it. I hate to have to do this, y'all. I gotta tell. Now, when I say they, I don't mean every hair care company, okay? Because I wasn't taught this at home, okay? When I grew up, I don't even recall using conditioner. So I'm just saying, maybe my mother did, but I don't remember. I'm too old now. But professionally, and when you watch TV though, and you guys let me know, Yate, you're a cosmetologist. I mean, you're a barber stylist. So let me know if you guys have heard this. But TV will do it too. They will say if like hair is clean when it squeaks. I have been to several CEU classes that teaches when hair squeaks, it's clean. Also, your body, remember Mr. Bubble in the tubbo, get you what? Squeaky clean, Mr. Bubble in the tubbo doing its thing. You got to be old to remember that one. So you're right. Squeaky is associated. It's got to have that rough. You don't want to feel anything on this hair. And so that would make that product expensive. Yeah. It would make it effective. It would definitely make it, here's an expensive word, clarifying. So let's move the conversation along. And I'm going to show you a video because now Cheryl never know that I'm going to have these videos, right? Because Cheryl like, oh, Lord, what's she going to have? So to your point, and let's talk about, and you talk about this a lot, is the language that we choose to use to help sell something. And I think this is where the male and the female, it kind of, because men could be like, what the hell? Just give me some damn soap, the hell. And women will be like, oh, it's got to keep head the porosity and it's got to do this. So let's talk about the language that's used to sell a product so that we can say that it is expensive or cheap because we got to have. God. a problem. Okay, so here is a video. I'm gonna show two of them back because they're the same about a problem. Okay, so here's this one. Here we go, right here.
Here is a visual difference of high porosity versus low porosity. High porosity hair gets wet immediately, and as soon as it's no longer in contact with water, it's going to start to dry as if you've never wet it. Low porosity strands has a tight cuticle, meaning when it's in contact with water, it starts to repel it, so you will see water beads form on top of the hair.
Let me play that one more again, and I want you guys, if you can, thank you so much, Sandra, for the chat. I mean, for the statement, because that was pretty powerful. So let me show the video again, because I see this a lot. And these are definitely videos that are used to kind of trigger you, to make you want to buy something, quote unquote, expensive or cheap, because they're going to tell you that you've got a problem with your hair. So let me just show this one more again. And y'all jot down some notes so we can pick Cheryl's brain. Okay, here we go.
Here is a visual difference of high porosity versus low porosity. High porosity hair gets wet immediately, and as soon as it's no longer in contact with water, it's going to start to dry as if you've never wet it. Low porosity strands has a tight cuticle, meaning when it's in contact with water, it starts to repel it, so you will see water beads form on top of the hair.
Now,
Okay.
now, you want me to show the next video to go with that, or just want to do it, break it down at a time?
Mm-hmm.
Show the next
Okay.
one? Okay, let's break this one down. Okay, go ahead, break it down.
Let's break it down. Okay. So we have the top.
That's what's confusing. Yeah, when they say high porosity hair is wet immediately. And then low porosity has a tight cuticle that repels. So, and that helps sell high porosity, low porosity products. Okay, go ahead.
Well, the marketing department of Haircare did not make that up. That did not come from manufacturers. That came from the need in the natural hair movement to have, I guess, just something else to be able to guide you. Now, one of the things that I wanted you guys to understand, that every hair influencer ended up selling you something. Okay, not selling you on a concept really, but selling you on an idea so much. Now, I have to give it to natural hair care movement. They said it so much that the hair care companies began to shapeshift to social media language. Okay, and that's really innovative. You guys to eventually watch the video again. The video on the top, the lady's hair is actually a wavy straight pattern, maybe formerly a press and curl. The young girl on the bottom actually has very coily hair. You guys have to understand, when water comes out of that nozzle, out of any shampoo nozzle, it's coming out like a shower head, okay? And it's spurting out, and once it lands on a surface, it's landing in droplets. And so at the bottom video, all the little droplets, it's a phenomenon of what water molecules do. You have to also remember that hair is hydrophobic. It repels water. That is what it's designed to do. All keratin fibers are fibrous. They're designed to not be susceptible to water. They're not water loving. Okay. And so trying to use words like moisture and hydration, things of that nature, it doesn't apply until you denature it in a spectrum called cosmetic services. At that point, there's nothing to measure.
What that means? What that mean? Denature
so something
and
natural
cosmetic
does not
services.
have a porosity because it repels water. Now, right. So the fingertip, the exception here, the fingertip thing is only a money relationship with the consumer. It's all just language. Because at some point, how can one company make product for 3 million people? How can one company make one product for 50 million people? It happened because they are giving you one set of expectations, one suggested use, one list of ingredients. So in other words, I go to Wendy's. I like Wendy's chili, but some people don't like Wendy's chili. But at the end of the day, you can only make something for one person or one type of person. You can't make things for 50 amount of millions of people. And so when we go to the store, we have to remember that that product is only made to satisfy that one lab guy, that one lab woman. She says it's good, but it may not be good for you. So you have to remember,
Okay, we have a little delay here. I can see that on your thing. Okay, so can you explain when you say denature, that is really the only way that you're going to begin to moisturize? Because I'm going to show the next clip because we want people to understand the true truth about, cheap versus expensive. Now we're getting a little bit more deeper psyche and some of the business tactics between what we see actually from a marketing department and people who began to make stuff up like low porosity, high porosity hair. But you're saying that when it comes to being able to really address high porosity, low porosity, or dry hair, moisturized hair, you said it had to be denatured and some type of cosmetic, alteration. What does that mean to us regular folk?
It's almost like, when I say denatured, it's almost like tempered. Like when you do a cast iron skillet, you have to kind of temper it, make the surface conducive to cooking because it's so new. Or you may do it to leather, and that means to kind of soften the leather so it won't be so hard. And so
and
now
how is that done? How are we tempering? How are we tempering this hair?
How was that done? Constantly, and of course, it goes against the cultural conversation of Blackness. And see, this is where we get into the natural hair care in the social messaging. This is where culture and cosmetology, right? And because protein, which is keratin's a protein, but it's a fibrous protein, high in sulfur and all that good stuff. It's designed to be exercised and stretched. Ain't nobody got time for it.
They say if that, so it sounds like you're about to say something.
And that's how, heat, braiding, constant movement. And because you have to remember the MEAT, metasantosoic acid that's on that particular layer of hair, it is designed to help not to have to keep things out. It is to be a hair fiber, depending, it's there for you to cosmetically do exactly what it is that you want it to, or how you want it to be soft. There is no natural way to make something not what it is.
So you have
and
to use a
if you
chemical.
want,
I mean, well, you don't have to use a chemical,
Yeah.
but you have to have.
you
You can
have
use
to
a chemical or do like repetitive movements,
you
like
have
you
to
said.
have a chemical. Well, it's the same thing as well. Let me just say this: when you constantly pull your hair back in a different direction, what does your scalp do? It shows you that it doesn't like that by what? Follicular degeneration syndrome. So it's all reacting. Your scalp reacts. You pull it, you pull your eyebrows out, you're going to get a red bump. I mean, it's all. If I blow dry my hair constantly, it's going to be a looser and fluffier texture because the hair is used to being what? Stretched. Or if the hair is used to being tightly wounded, so when you try to stretch it and you try to straighten it, or you want to give it some kind of flexuousness, well, the first time you do that, the hair is what? It's always in a status. It's always in a status. But because keratin is a protein, it's fibrous, it will mold. Just like a shirt does. Cotton.
Mhm.
Just like anything.
So when they're talking about right. So when they're talking about this low porosity, high porosity, you're going to see this. Is it really a such thing, or like you said, are we looking at the texture? I'm still I want to make sure we get clear, because they're using this terminology to help sell something that's cheap versus expensive. And let me just show this little clip to help you just driving on that answer a little bit.
Products for high porosity hair under $20. Don't forget, with high porosity hair, it's all about retaining moisture. This buttercream will not only help with that, but it also helps to deliver it too. Such a slept-on product infused with pumpkin, aloe, soybean, and low-key, this could double as a styler as well. This gel is infused with coconut oil, flaxseed, wheat protein. It helps to elongate curls, and it's only $7, a steal. Why aren't more people talking about this line from Camille Rose? Girl, this conditioner has so much slip, and your curls will feel like butter.
Okay, so those are designed to help.
That's all.
But they're using the term porosity on low porosity on natural hair. And you're saying that really won't apply unless you chemically alter that hair and then you use a product. No, okay. Help us with this. We're not, because it was kind of, I don't know, because of the
porosity. The porosity is a cosmetology word. It means that there has been a chemical change. Usually a downgraded in status is what I mean by natural denatured, which means is that if I'm going to take a piece of wood and I'm going to sand it down to the grain that I like, I've denatured the wood. Even though it's still wood, but it's downgraded because I've shaven some of the top nicks and crannies off of the wood. I've denatured it. Okay. But porosity belongs to the professional cosmetology world of chemical changes, metabolic chemical changes. It's not a word that natural hair people should be using because it doesn't apply. It's a word that sounded fancy that they bought from cosmetology to make themselves. It's made up.
Now I'm about to get a little.
Okay, so I'm about to get it.
Okay, sorry about the delay, y'all. Sorry about the delay. But let me just get it. Can I just get just a little bit more messy? I think it's your computer.
There's a delay in the app. There's not a delay. It's not a delay on the.
It's only when you know.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it on. Yeah, because it's not sticking in like the YouTube or anything, only in the app.
Okay. All right. So, here we go.
I can go out and get on. I can go out and get on.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. Let me just say this. Now, you said that the denaturing process as it relates to porosity will technically only take place when you're going to chemically denature this fabric. But you said something, I don't know if y'all caught this, but I'm about to be messy, but that the hair is still natural. So, because I think that's what confuses people. We think that when this hair is somehow denatured, or we see any type of downgrade on the fabric, somehow the hair is less natural. And here comes the expensive versus, the cheap versus the expensive. We think the expensive is going to help make that damaged or altered hair more natural. Help us with that. Can we make it more natural when it comes? Are you guys following me? When it comes to cheap, this is $1 product, and you got a 35 or 25, whatever you want to say. Okay, it's more than $1 product. Can it make it more natural so it can be healthy? How about that? And drop your questions in the chat.
Okay. I can see. I'm gonna from my understanding, it is high porosity associated with chemical processes. What does a chemical process allow a surface to become? Good question, Eleanor. But the question is, what does a chemical treatment do to a surface?
Hey, Dr. Tate, I see you in there. Yeah, I see it, and we have another question for you. We're sorry about the delay, guys. There's something happening in the app. We apologize. Okay.
No, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out.
Okay.
I'm gonna go out.
Hold on. I'm gonna go out, and she's gonna come back in. Okay. Leave that up. Okay, I'm gonna leave that up. Don't forget, while she's going out and we go back in, I can hear Rike and Stephanie right now saying now is really, 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 I'm going to remove. Now is really, really a good time because you guys are loving this. It's a little technical. We just want to save you guys some money. So now is a good time to help change the narrative about this strange, quirky conversation that somehow cheap is cheap and expensive is expensive. And we're starting to realize, I don't know about these terms. So do this to help change the narrative about the truth versus cheap, expensive, hair care products. Here we go. Pump me on, pump me on. All right, we are back. We are having a very candid and technical discussion about the truth about cheap versus expensive products. And right off the rip, we let you guys know that when it comes to cheap versus expensive, the operative word is ubiquitous. Not the name of Roy Ayers' old school album, but as in availability. And then you have exclusivity when it comes to your ingredients. So the more accessible a manufacturer or a person has to get to those products, it's pretty much just going to be what we would call affordable. Those products that are a little bit more, exclusively made or sold, That's what's going to make it expensive. It has nothing to do with, what's in it and all that. That's just, And then also we're helping you guys understand how they're using certain languages to sell you stuff. As Cheryl pointed out, that has nothing to do with marketing, especially when we see this information coming out of social media. When companies market products, they're not like this product dad is not going to be saying that this is for low porosity curls or high porosity. They're like, it's for curly hair. Okay. But we may get online and say that. So Cheryl is just helping us understand how chemicals, the role that chemicals play in the low and high porosity, because we don't want you guys to be duped into buying something that you think is going to help make your hair become more natural if it's damaged because it's been labeled high or low porosity. Take it away, Cheryl.
So, in other words, what makes a surface more accepting? They call it friendly. Forgiving. They call it forgiving. Let's say we buy a couch and I Scotch guard it, right? And I don't want any stains on it. What I'm doing is that I'm putting a barrier between the person sitting down and the actual fabric. So right in between here is what's going to soak up if they waste anything. It's not going to get to the actual couch, okay? And so that's the same thing as that when people feel the crunchiness of their hair, you have an acid barrier on that hair that makes it feel rough. And if you want to get to the softness and you want to soften it, make it flexuous and make it nice and porous and forgiving, the unfortunate part is that's the nature right there, the part you don't like.
Did y'all get that?
You see what I'm saying? So you don't like that. But you have to like it because you want to be natural.
Wait, what if I use this expensive product, right? That says this is low porosity hair. And if I use something that has pumpkin, coconut oil, flaxseed, would that help it retain moisture and make this hair, this natural hair, more flexuous?
No, because what you did was, see, this is the sleight of hand. They know you guys don't understand molecular weight. So you got the size of a pin, a pin. Let's say you cut off the very tip of a needle. That's the size of a water molecule. Then the pumpkin, then the this, and then the this, and then the that, and then all of this other stuff they love to put in is this big. So does it make sense of this going inside of the nook and crannies of the cuticle? Or does it make sense for this something this big to go inside the cuticle? So it doesn't even matter if the hair is low or high. The fatty oils still are not getting in because the hair is designed to even keep this out.
Wow. Y'all better hit that thumbs up button.
It won't even let the pinhead. It won't even let the pinhead drop of water even in. The water is the smallest molecule.
Don't waste not another penny. Don't y'all go spend no more money on this expensive or cheap, because you just said the molecules are the same, whether it's an expensive or a cheap product. The same water that's in the $20 product is the same water that's in the dollar product. And neither of these products will take this nice, beautiful, natural Afro hair and soften it so that you can get some stretch on it, because I don't want my afro to be so tight. So I'm going to use this coconut, pumpkin, flaxseed and with water. And she's saying the water molecules is not going to, none of those molecules is going to help stretch this and make Sasha's hair come down to here regardless the cost. And so Eleanor is saying high versus low porosity is still how something is absorbed. Is that correct?
No.
Oh,
No.
Shit. Let me take
because you guys have to understand, you're still only doing a surface. It's not getting to the cortex. It's the hair is not designed for that. You have to have a chemical metabolic process for it.
So the only way Stacia's hair, the only way this hair is.
Go ahead.
So the only way to make her hair softer, which that does that mean it's more porous if these curls become softer? Would that mean that her hair is now more porous? If I could just get these curls to soften, even if I use a chemical. Now with her hair.
Let me go here. Now y'all remember
in my nose, y'all.
Now you guys have to remember when you would go buy paper towels and you guys would buy paper towels according to how well the paper towel absorbs water, right?
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Right. But then when they put the drop water and they would show how strong the paper towel is, they would see the water would just sit on top, right? Okay. Because if the water goes through, what does that make the paper towel?
Cheap.
And weaker. Okay. So protein is designed not to let water through it. That's the point. Okay.
So low porosity and high porosity.
Right. The porosity is only in terms of, and let me just explain now. You guys were taught texture. Texture is not a shape. Okay? Texture is not a shape. Texture is porosity.
Wait a cotton picking minute.
What you talking about, Will?
Now, come on. Now, chat, y'all best to wake up, hit that thumbs up button, hit the bomb button, because you mean to tell me, I got to get into my microphone. You going to tell me that this is Sasha right. Fierce. You going to tell me these coils right here, these beautiful curls?
I'm telling you, her hair can be mushy and soft, but it can be coily as AF.
But ain't
and I can tell, and I can tell you the straightest person at Asian that can be non-porous at AF. The shape does not dictate anything. The shape is just the shape. The coil count is the coil count. That's not texture. Texture is the very same thing. Texture, actually, the better word that I think the natural hair care needed to use is texture to define how much. Now, my point, when you guys go paint your walls, what do you guys say? I want a flat or a gloss, right? Because when you got kids, you need gloss. Why?
So you can wipe it down fast.
So nothing won't what? Absorb. when you want a nice matte flat paint, you usually have adults in the house. Because flat
Or you live
paint,
in the projects.
no, flat paint is,
I'm sorry.
you know what I'm saying?
And the
So you got
projects is
that
flat.
gloss.
I grew up in the yellows. I'm just saying. I'm sorry, y'all go ahead.
Right. So flat paint, you can't even put your fingerprints on it. It will absorb everything.
But that is not answering texture, though. You got me
I'm
effed up.
going there. I'm going there.
Uh-oh.
So
Okay, let me see.
texture. So coarse texture defines the level of absorption. Texture, let's just say, because if you guys ever had a water system, the more chunky rocks you put in, the more it's going to filter. You have coarse salt and you have fine salt. Fine salt is real feathery, powdery, soft, and it's almost like it feels wet almost. It's so fine. Well, so what I'm saying is texture is the level of absorption, not porosity. Porosity is a chemical term after you've denatured it. Natural hair people need to stay away from that word. It doesn't apply to them because they're natural. Something that is non-absorbent, hydrophobic, does not have a porosity. The more you stretch it, the more you exercise it, the more you put it in texture enhancement, and the more you press it, and the more then it becomes to have what we call a pliable memory. You press it for years, then it has what? It has an habitual imprint. That means that it what? Now absorbs heat. It absorbs water. But we're only talking about a permeation, not a penetration, and not an absorption. Because you're only going on the surface. You're not going through the cortex into the medulla. Y'all need to just stop that. Okay, so cuticles don't open doors like doors. Cuticles don't open. They would fall off if they opened up like doors. It doesn't. It just creates a buckle. Okay, and the hair is natural to be able to suck up the moisture in the air. Now, let me just say this. Do anybody feel water in the air? Do you feel water on your face? Do you feel humidity? You've never felt humidity. Your hair, the microns, the pores and spores and cuticles in your hair are so micron that they can pick up water in the air. You have never felt that shit. So you putting in pumpkin seed and arrow seed and all this other Jehovah, it don't work. It's too big. The molecular is too big. If I can, what?
We are, look, everybody in the chat, come on now, I wasn't the only one. Hey, we can't Sandra. When she said, can you feel the moisture in the air? Can you feel it? We were like this. I don't care. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about me. It don't. What's up, Mahogany? What's up, T Strong, Jan Jordan? I see you over here, Rashida, JCT Extra. I see you, Sir Pooh. I see y'all over here on Instagram. I know, Wanda, you know what I'm saying. You just giving us all something to think about, because this whole cheap versus expensive, and I'm so glad. You're right, Rike. Only when it's raining or snowing it's called precipitation.
Right.
I know I wasn't
your hair, but your hair just somehow in a silk press. You go outside between that grocery store trip, and you go down to get them now layers at the bodega, and then you go around to the church service, and you come back home, your hair went. Pfft. Your hair can get that water droplet.
Is that not ether? and them. Y'all see that pseudo shit that Yaki be over there like, and the hair got the ability. Hey, it's all hair can do that. It's not 9 ether hair. So we just have to be really careful. Because according to Yaki and them, that's only for this kind of hair.
Now
Only
check this out.
That's why this hair do this.
Now check this out. So that must mean.
I'm sorry, Yaki. I don't know him.
Right. I know. But shit, forget Yaki. But
I don't know.
The point of the matter is that even when we say moisturization and hydration, we're not talking about the same water. We're not talking about the same things. You're not even talking about what the hair is talking about. The hair is having a relationship, having an eco relationship, a biospheric relationship with its environment. Your ass is having a relationship with manufacturers and people and companies and jars and bottles. That is not the same relationship.
Y'all better get y'all asses up and clap y'all hands and stump y'all feet. Give it up for sexual chocolate up in this motherfucker plucker, because she done broke this down to the very last compound. It don't matter. We have got to stop falling for the okie doke when it comes to this cheap versus expensive, because now what I'm starting to see, every time I come on here, I think I'm going to talk about something else. Y'all know what I'm saying? How many people thought the conversation was going to go this way? Come on, Yate, I see you. Because see, I didn't see this coming. I'm so I'm as superficial as this damn fake fur, these cheap earrings, cheap glasses, and cheap lipstick. I look expensive, but I'm cheap. Okay? See, I'm telling y'all, and that's it. I hope y'all understand that too, because people will look at me. I hope y'all think I look expensive. I'm assuming that this is a quasi, I look credible. I got clear skin. I don't have eye boogers. My eyebrows are drawn on. Let me mat down some of my shine. My hair is flexuous. I'm looking very African with my African ear. I got my unk. I have my organic, fake fur and my organic. I look very credible, yet I'm cheap. Now, some other people say, "Oh, I knew you was cheap. You just look that way." Because it's people who know that. Like, I'm not saying Halle Berry is superficial, but them socialites, like, "Oh no, she's not." And look at her skin; she has not been exfoliated. She has not had no hydrotherapy, But when it comes to this whole hair thing, she just told you this ain't even the texture. The texture is what's also getting us caught up, because we are used to, because that's how they sell us on. This is tightly coiled. Like, this would be coily. This wouldn't even be 4C. This might be, I don't know what y'all would consider this, but they get us caught up in texture. And Cheryl is saying it's not even so much that it's actual texture. It's more so it's the ability for that.
Right. We think that we see a high coil count person, okay, because Dr. Morrow coined it coil count. We think you have a strand that is 6 inches. If this strand has 50 turns, that's 50 coils. That can be considered high coil. But if it only had 4 coils, it would be, what y'all say, good hair. If it only had 2 coils, it would be really wavy. And if it had only 1, it would be perfect. If it didn't have none, that's not what was desirable. It'll just be bone straight. So the coil.
Did y'all get that? Y'all see how I did that?
We keep thinking coil is indicative or connected to tightness and high. No, you can have a person with and you pull that hair straight. That is the glossiest, tightest hair, and it can be actually very soft. So we make sure that we don't get caught up in high coil counts to find our blackness, because I
trying to say nothing, but Yate, you was in the chat. We went to the African intelligence, and I'm not saying all Black people think this way, and I'm not saying all white people or non-black people or whatever, but we really, really do think that this hair is exclusive to African dark people, hence natural, hence texture. She might not even be able to get invited to the picnic because her coil count is still not, it's not even tight enough because she got a little drop. So she may not even be considered all the way African, according to some people, because they really think if it's, you know what I'm saying? And then that drives the product sales, guys, because they will say, you know, you need these organic, these natural products for a account that's this and tighter. Is like your mannequin. You know, where's your mannequin at back there? Can you lean back? There she is. So your mannequin, oh, see that? Now that's black. See how they do? Right. So she woo-wee, she kunta kente. All right. So she can be black, but Sasha here is gonna be biracial and she light skinned too, you know. So and this is what drives the sales of expensive organic and so on, because organic is definitely going to be more expensive than in some instances than man-made. But
well, we don't even know the difference between organic, natural, herbal, or botanical. If I sold it to you, if you guys can tell me the difference between natural and organic, I bet you someone would have to, you know, Google it and chat GPT. They don't know it.
Right.
I mean, no one's ever.
Monday is trivia night tonight. Who's going to get the trivia question right? The question is, who can on the spot define the difference between organic and natural? All right, that is going to be our trivia for tonight. In the meantime, while you guys are trying to get the answer in, don't forget, on May 30th at 6:00 p.m. it's going down. The American Curl movie premiere is happening at the Kumba Fest located in sunny San Diego, California. Rashida and I, we're going to be flying in to check out the actual documentary. You don't want to miss it. You can follow American Curl right here on Instagram and watch his shorts. So let's see who wants to get that trivia question tonight and get that shout out. We're talking about who can define what is organic and what is natural. Maybe the mahogany butterfly knows what it is over here on Instagram. Let's see. We got one. Okay. All right, here we go. We got our hot babe, our Canadian babe, Live Work Clean, is saying organic is given the right nutrients, and naturals comes from a natural source or product.
Okay. Now let's make it indicative to what our subject is. Okay. So organic is more expensive than natural, right?
Sure.
Y'all go to the store and they got a natural section and then they got an organic section. Y'all can go over there and buy them mucked up ass, skinny ass scallions, green onions, or you can go over there and buy the nice organic ones. Okay, for a 56 to 65 cent more, right? Okay, and what they saying? Organic.
They said organic, no chemicals used in processing the product. Natural uses some chemicals which may not be organic. And then you have GMO versus non-GMO. Y'all some hair. Where my hair nerds at? Y'all gonna drop that hashtag. Y'all some serious motherfucker plucking hair nerds.
Okay, let's get to it. Okay, now. So you guys go in because, you know, Miss Thing over here, she cheap. Okay. So she loves natural. She gonna go in there and buy them golf ball size lemons, 10 for $1. They were grown in the dirt. They were grown with water and at 10 for $1. Cheryl is going to go over there and buy the organic lemon. I want the lemon this big. I want it to actually be yellow. I want it to have dimples in the skin. I want the skin to actually be this thick. And I want it sizable, because lemons are supposed to be the size of about 3 golf balls, not perfectly round and not hard. They're supposed to be nice and juicy. Now, the difference is that organic needs a human intervention. Natural, no human intervention.
Hold on.
Guys,
wait a minute. Hold on. Organic needs human intervention, and non-organic does not need.
No, don't call it non-organic. Natural. I have put
okay, wait a minute. Let me say it again. Organic needs human intervention, and natural does not need human intervention.
What you talking about, Will?
So I go to the farm, go to the plantation, just stick some seeds in the ground, and I water it. I'm going to do organic. I'm going to set aside a specific plot of land. I'm going to put minerals in the soil. I'm also going to put in a sprinkler system. And then I'm going to make sure that there's enough shade at the right time and at the right moment. And so I want to produce big, large lemons, juicy, nice and sweet. I don't want them nice golf ball size lemons, 10 for $1 and 5 for $1 and all this bullshit. I don't want them. That's Key Lolo gonna get those. Okay, hard as hell. You can't get no juice out of them. Okay.
I put them on the floor and I rub them around with my foot.
See, I'm not doing that. Okay, I cut that son of a gun open. I want the juices flowing, and put the sides, and then I put the lemons inside of my ice cubes, and then that's how I have my lemon water. You understand? That's what I'm trying to talk about, right? That's what. So,
okay,
in other words,
I might get converted. Okay,
all right. But organic. So at the end of the day, you guys have all went to Lowe's. You've always went to Home Depot, and you guys see those trees with the knot in their stem. Those are what you call hybrid trees, which means they've already produced the fruit. So now when you stick to natural, you don't even know if it's the first, second, or third generation of lemon. And they get weaker and weaker. So you guys sticking to just natural, just for the sake of natural. And another point, okay, because you guys truly, secretly, quietly, privately, in your heart of hearts, actually desire a texture that is not natural to your own, and you want it to cosmetically behave some other way, you created the product junkie market, because you're saying that I want my hair, here's the words, curl definition, curl defined. I want it elongated. You want to pull it down. You want all of your natural texture to do something that even when the hair sucks the what? Water out of the air, it goes this way. Now you want it that way. Then you want it glossy. Then you want it this way. The natural hair market is not pro-natural. Doesn't want the hair to
if it's cheap.
No, it doesn't matter. Expensive. Your thirst, right? Your desire to make the texture do something that it doesn't do created the cheap versus expensive, over-productized, oversaturated market. You created the market, the messages. You created the dual messages and all the messages that are just so. And let me just say this: we're 26 years in at this point, and so I've embraced it. Everyone's embraced it. But now, when we are coming back into the salon market and we're going back into professional conversation and we want to talk to each other, and we want to now network and we want to do some things. Now there's a lot to undo because I don't want to argue with you in my chair. I don't want to have to convince you. I want to be able to make things make sense to you. I want things to be able for you to understand them and to trust me, and for me to not compete with social media education or social media sensationalized sound bites and the flavor of the month phrases, right? I want us to be able to dialogue and for me to match up what I can do with the best set of knowledge that I have to meet your expectation results. And that's one of the things that correcting information does. It lessens the odds of us having a mishap, and it creates more pros so you can get what you want.
Yep. All right. I think we've done a phenomenal job in helping you guys understand the truth about cheap versus expensive. Watch out for that language, guys. Watch out. We did have one last question before we wrap it up. Mr. Tate had a question. Does any of this apply? Let me go find this comment because he wanted to know, what about hair that's shorter? When people have short hair, and then, and that's what I was saying, that men, and I think this is where our barbers and and I tell you can probably kind of help with this too. This is where I don't know what I call it, sexism, in hair care, that it gets really twisted, that somehow men's hair, it doesn't matter as much. And then you have men, they're going out spending the same amount of money trying to keep their curls and their coils. But what about if a person has short hair? What suggestions do you have for them when it comes to managing their texture, the porosity? Does all of this apply? Cheap, good, people with short hair like his, does it, y'all cutting it off, so y'all just go buy a bar of soap and just leave it alone? Because I ain't got no hair.
I think it's more important because your scalp is more susceptible to air. Your scalp is more exposed, but at the end of the day, I know you're replenishing it with cutting more often with the ends. I know that shorter hair doesn't weather as much as long hair that's moving and is and exposed to and it's old hair. But short hair, you run the risk of lots of scalp issues like dandruff and dry skin and maybe some exposure to fungus because you have all that water. They love to put their hair in the freaking shower. They love that shit. Men?
So hello, wait, men, is that true? Are you guys always dunking your head in the shower when you get up in the morning? Are you brothers really quick to throw some water on your hair? Because if you do, and women, if you have short hair, you're throwing that water on it all the time. You guys, you just learned it here, right here on America's favorite podcast about Afro hair, is that short hair like Mr. Tate's here, you run the risk of having some scalp issues, especially if you're dunking that hair in the water. So if you're doing that, drop that in the chat because Cheryl's going to liberate you and help you understand. And barbers, you got to help your brothers and sisters out with these short hair that want to dump it in the water. So take that away. Keep going, Cheryl.
Yeah, and also remember, oil is a surfactant. It doesn't carry moisture. It's not going to fix any problem. It's only going to fix a dull problem. Okay, because it's designed to stay on the surface. That's what an oil does. And so the relationship, and one of the things that I hope I'm answering the questions based on the scientific alchemical relationship, not what I want it to do, not what I want my fingers to feel, not what makes me feel better. Only what the science says, not what we want it to. And so with cosmetology gives us these rules, right? And we know when we have a low shearling, like a sheep coat, we have less maintenance. We know when we have a long fur fox, we have more maintenance because the hairs are longer. Okay. And so we probably can just do a really quick brush through or whatever when we have a short hair. We call them short hair coats or, whatever the case may be. So when there's less fabric there, we have low maintenance, but we do leave the underpelt, the leather or something exposed to it. So there is different ways to look at it. Most short hair people, they do have, dry scalps and more susceptible because they wash their hair more often.
And again, so with short hair people, for y'all too, men included, don't run to cheap or expensive. It's not gonna make a difference. You're pretty much buying the product.
There is an exception. I didn't get to that part, but yeah, because we had a little delay. But there is an exception though. It's reverse when it comes to oils.
Meaning?
Cheap is better. Cheap is better. And I'm gonna tell you why. In my personal opinion, and you guys can, do research all you want to, but higher viscosity, higher molecular weight oils, such as petros, such as grease, such as fat, are better protectors if you talking about heat. Okay. Do not use them essential oils and all them jojobas and all them argons and all that bullshit. Those are, they're gonna not give you, any type of, now if you want them and if you like them, fine. But you see how when it comes to a certain oils are an exception, because I happen to think when it comes to cosmetic science, mineral oils are better. Okay. When it comes to certain petros are better because of what I'm trying to achieve inside either a formula and on a surface. But this is the same as you going in and you only have $5 to buy an olive oil, but I have $40 to buy an olive oil. So I'm going to buy extra olive oil with the most expensive because I like it dark green. I want more olive. And so you have only money for 10 karat gold necklace. I like my necklace with a lot less nickel. So I want more copper. So my gold is softer. So I go up in 24 karat or I go into 18 karat or 14 karat. The less you go, the more of that nickel that's in it. So it's always on a spectrum, people. And all I'm saying is that the cheap versus the expensive is, I think that this is probably the best conversation I've ever had about the subject, but this is the conversation you should have with your hairstylist because this matters. And I'm not saying all hairdressers, no. I'm just basically saying it is worth, especially if you guys are going to be buying. I'd rather you guys take yourselves out to a nice steak dinner.
Yeah, I tell my customers that too, because at the end of the day, as we begin to wrap this up, the question is, so either way, cheap or expensive, what do we do? Buy the product. You're going to buy the product according to, the results that you want to see on your hair. The cost
I would go down the middle of the road.
Yeah,
I would. If don't go cheap. Don't go $5. Don't go buy the marked down cheapies. Okay, don't do that. But if you guys happen to see brands that you do like and you're comfortable with, and they happen to be in Marshalls and they happen to be in TJ Maxx, maybe that's a bargain and it saves you a couple of bucks.
Yeah,
but to make sure that you have a guide. I don't want you to leave here without not having a guide, but I would go with your consistent price. They're not sales, they're not down, they're not up, they're not down, and just basically go with basic good brands that are middle in the middle range. Not expensive, not cheap.
Right, and I'll add to that, same thing. What I tell my guests when they want to buy hair care products, like Cheryl was saying, they're kind of like liquor. We talked about this the last time. I'm all gonna get you drunk. It just depends on how you want to feel. Okay, so the hair care products, you buy the brands. If it works, use it. How about we just say that?
Right.
If it works,
and don't you guys use the same principle as water? Come to find out that Fiji and all the expensive waters are not the cleanest. But there's always those ones that right in that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Right.
You just buy the product. You have color treated hair. You buy products for color treated hair. It should say it. Let the bottle, because remember, Cheryl said they're marketing it to you. Now, if you start listening to these influencers and all these people that's doing stuff like low porosity and moisturizer, you're probably going to end up spending a little bit more money than what you want and still not be happy with the results, because I see that, in hair salons. Like I said, we don't do treatment. We stopped doing all that shit because customers would say like, I don't feel like, if you say so. There are some instances where you do need it, but for the most part, if you're shampooing and cleansing your hair as needed per what the fabric requires, you just don't need all of this stuff unless you're just a hair care junkie. Then go for what you know. Exactly. So let the bottle speak. Let the bottle speak to you, and then your budget. If you're cheap, like I'm not spending over $30 for a bottle of shampoo, but like Cheryl said, but I'm not gonna spend $1 either. Okay, so you just gotta know. So stay within your price range, and if you have a brand that you trust and you like, people will say stuff like, well, my hair got used to it. Do you hear that? Sure. Remember that? How many people say that? I was using We Dad for 10 years and then my hair got used to it and it stopped working. You, like Cheryl said, your fingertips probably got used to it, but
you like the way you like the way it feels.
Maybe you just want to switch up because you were just tired of the same, like a lover, I'm just saying, like I need a new boo. I'm tired of that same penis, let me get something different out here. New vagina, I need something a little different. It be that way sometimes, but hey, to each his own. I'm just saying, so your hair don't get used to it, okay? So if you've been using TCB since 1967, you don't want to switch, you don't have to. Okay, that's up to you. That's what you want to do. I'm just keeping. Yeah, y'all got it. All right. So she's been using $3 shampoo. Again, if it works, use it. Okay, we had one last one, sure, before we go. Is it okay?
What if you want to buy a $3 shampoo? I'm just curious. Just curious.
Okay, she wants to ask that. I gotta hide that one. Okay, last question and we up out of here. Here we go. Is glycerin okay to use on the hair?
There's many products that use glycerin, but I want to know glycerin by itself, perhaps. Okay. Because glycerin is that cheap humectant. Okay. There's other expensive, but I want you guys to understand, they're not expensive because they're better. They're expensive because of the placement of availability of that item. It's like the Hanoi Pearl. The Hanoi Pearl are $45,000 because you can't find the Hanoi Pearl. It's not that the pearl is better than an oyster pearl. But, you know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that we are talking about better. So if I want to put into my product wheat germ, because wheat germ is effective, right? But I rather have silk amino acid proteins, or I make, those. But goddamn, that is 55-gallon drum of that is $10,000. You see,
Oh, you
so
gonna
the
pay for
word, right. So I'm gonna
yeah.
pass that cost on to what? The consumer.
We
So
got
it's not about
I'm
right.
sorry, Cheryl, for cutting you off. I want to catch him before he goes. We got Hair Elements over here on Instagram. We're going to have him on next month. I'm going to be inviting him, sending him an email because we're talking about those relaxers. We got something real special coming up for you guys next month. So I forgot his name. I'm so sorry. If you drop your name in the chat, but I forgot his name. I'm sorry, but I did email him. So yeah. So
Okay,
the
so she
question is
ain't talking about right now
glycerin and water only.
Right, glycerin. Now, of course, you just kind of screwed up the glycerin when you mix it with the water. I'm sorry. Water is not a beauty product, people. Water is not a cosmetic. Water should not be included. Water is a conduit. It only moves you from one phase to the next phase of your styling process. It is not a beauty product. It doesn't enhance, and it actually downgrades because it dilutes. I don't know, so you telling me, yes, glycerin and water only. Water ruins the glycerin.
Wow. Water. Okay, so don't mix. So use the glycerin by itself, or
I wouldn't necessarily use it by itself, but at the end of the day, these people are spending millions of dollars of formulations to make a formulation is a choir. It's the sopranos, it's the tenors, and it's the altos. It's a choir. It's an ensemble. More emulsions, more humectants. More humectants, thickeners, and smoothers, and this and that, and hydrators, you know what I mean, and humectants. So, and panthenols. I mean, there's a whole choir. It's in a formula. And the schizophrenia of a natural hair person wants the results of a cosmetic high salon hairnista. They do. They're actually more hairnista than the actual straight hair, blow dry press queen. They are so they question everything. They're very particular. They're this, they're that, they're this, they're that, and their expectations are off the Richter scale. Okay. And you have to make sure that their level of awareness matches reality, then their expectations. Because the language gives them this arrogance and superiority of what they think they know. There's no room to take that out and replace it with something that is very sound and will actually give them a much more of a vernacular and a lexicon that will allow them to communicate with the hairstylist in simple terms of what they're expecting and what they want and what they need. How this is going to help them maneuver in between the 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever the case may be. We have got to get there. And that is what real product knowledge is supposed to make us unconfused and now start making us integrated and infused so we can get what we want. Does that make sense, guys?
So makes a lot of sense. So can you use that glycerin in the winter, or can you use it anytime you want to?
Always remember, when the temperatures go up, right? Things get more liquidy. The more the temperature goes down, nature slows down, things get more solid. So in the winter, water gets what? More solid, snow, hail, lots of rain, things of that nature. So my point is there's less moisture in the air when the temperatures are low. Okay. So if you want to go to the crib, you can go to get your vegetable glycerin or if you and put it in your favorite conditioner because you want a little more. Now that, I would do that for a custom blend client, who just wants a little more than Ladosha wants. Okay. But that makes sense. In the colder months, you want a little more if you are susceptible to, but you guys are using the same amount of water, and then you guys turn that heat up on that water, boy, and that them water molecules get real small, and then it starts irritating your scalp, and then you want to say, winter, my hair
Dry
changes
my
in the
hair
winter.
out.
You know what I
Winter
mean?
change, you got all this winter rules and stuff. Okay, that was a good one. Y'all, they ain't letting us go, Cheryl. Okay, y'all here for it. Okay, here's another one. So Eleanor also has a question about conditioner. Cheryl said once she doesn't want to bother with conditioners. So the question is, do you need conditioners?
Well, let's say, Eleanor, you were my client, right? And I was in the chair. Okay. And who am I satisfying? Am I satisfying your hair or am I satisfying you? Because you've convinced yourself as a consumer. Because you have to remember, your hair ain't going to the store. You going to the store.
Wow.
Okay. So I got to convince you on why you don't need this and that and this and that, because I'm only focusing on what I'm seeing as in the hair. You are buying for, you're buying a little scared. You're buying to keep the hair on your head. You're buying it to keep it longer. You're buying it to grow it. You're buying it for this and you're buying it for that. I'm not buying for that. So when we are talking together and you are buying a product, I want nothing but results according to what it is that you need. I don't want to suffice and make you feel safer that you're doing the right thing because, of course, somebody told you that you got to do something twice a week. So if we have all that noise in between, and I'm telling you, I can actually do it in one shampoo and we can do it and you say, wait, I ain't never, of course y'all love to tell Ladosha because Ladosha be telling me. Y'all love to tell her I ain't heard of that before. That I don't know why you guys say that. I don't know if that's supposed to stop her from playing something, doing something, but most consumers love to tell people, I ain't never heard of that. And I ain't heard this and that and this and that. So that automatically tells me that I have to allow you to put down the gun. We're going to breathe. Woosah. And then we're going to approach your hair. And unfortunately, hopefully, we can pull the personality, the alter ego, and we can get to what it is that your hair actually does need. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, you don't always. She took it deep because that's what Cheryl do. What's up, hair nerd Coco Whitaker? She is. I'm gonna show y'all these pictures of these people. She is the Amos Wilson, Dr. Barbara Sizemore, Cornell West, and I just added France Fanon of Haircare. So what she's saying, Eleanor,
I want you to go buy that middle of the road conditioner. I want you to just go buy it. I don't want you to think that it's going to make a miracle. I don't want you to go in there and make decisions with your personality. I want you to go in there and buy exactly what she tells you based on these particular emulsions and things of that nature. And she's going to say that this is decent. The best everybody is a good, decent product for a decent price.
Right.
That's
it. Everybody, you don't always need a conditioner. especially once the hair gets to a certain, like I people look at my hair. Do you use it? No, I don't. I take care of my hair.
Yeah.
All of my treatments are going to take place immediately after I color it, because, like
Other
Cheryl
than
said,
that, I ain't
That's when
seen
I've
her.
altered. That's when I've altered the porosity and all that stuff. Once I color it and I've raised it up, raised it down, went to the left, went to the right, took it in, took it out. Yeah, I'm gonna need some serious shit after this hair color.
You want,
But
and
after
let me just
that,
say this. And her conditioning, what is conditioning? Her conditioning is returning the pH back to the hair and scalp's functional pH, right?
functional is the word here.
Okay. The pH then allows the scalp to recover from the high pHs during the color process. It's going to return it
Come on.
back. Okay. All right. And it's going to create a homeostasis. That is what conditioning is. It's pH.
It's done. It's done.
It ain't
It's finished.
strengthening no cuticles. It ain't replacing no cuticles.
Ain't gonna do it.
Doing none of that. It is.
Ain't gonna do it.
Now,
And
what kicks off the wound healing process? pH. That's the body's message to say, oops, it's time to go get an army. Let's go here. Hair don't have that. So the only thing we can do in terms of the conditioner is to reverse what you did. And if you ain't did shit, don't get no conditioner talking about somebody gonna need a deep conditioner because you ain't had one for the year of 2026.
because you don't need all that, y'all. We got Sir Pooh's in the chat. We got Yate. We do have some hair professionals in the chat. We also have some sexy motherfucker pluckers in the chat. Now, I see you. You thought you was gonna slide through, but there she go, y'all. We got some good love. Hey, Nichols, God dog, is she fine. But yeah, guys, once you quote unquote repair the hair or whatever, it's done. You don't need all of that. If you need some detangling, you got some struggles on your combing out, you can use some conditioners to help with that. But a leave-in will do the same. We talked a little bit about that last week. We don't want to be a little bit redundant here, but we do want to be consistent in our information. Also, we did have someone in the chat. Where did he go? Shoot, there it is. MW4R Rules says, let me see if I can let me just stop this one here. Man, y'all comments coming through, so I'm trying to catch it, but I can't get them. They moving too fast. We need help. We need somebody to help us here. Okay, respectfully, right? It doesn't matter how much money you spend if you don't have the right techniques and you don't have the right tools. We say that all the time. It's 3 principles: the right products, the right tools, and the right techniques. So thank you so much for putting that in the bottle, because like they said, you just bought a bottle of Pretty. So the conditioner, if you shampoo your hair and it combs through and it feels pretty good, just go on and blow dry.
Let me tell you something. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a cosmetic MacGyver. You give me you give my ass a regular ball Prel. I know how to manipulate it.
Woo! Come on now.
So it'll get so you know what I'm saying? Come on now, Sir Pooh. You know what you doing, baby. You know how to do this and a little something that boom, and you know how to make it, a little bit more oomph. I know how to take a relaxer and make it organic. You understand what I'm saying? Woo! So if you know what you doing, okay, that's what that's inheritance. That's what your granddaddy and your grandpappy and your grandmammy on them plantations knew how to do. Okay, who do you think where they learned it from? We did it, and so I'm just basically saying is that the natural hair care world created the product junkie.
Yeah, and only a professional or very skilled, which is still going to be a professional, would know how to do that. And you heard what Sir Pooh said. Yes, love. Yes, we can. That's why Hey, we make it do what it do because we
What
know
it
how
do.
to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like cooking. You know, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Give them a little pat of butter. You know what I'm saying? When it comes again, conditioners, they're all the same. It's just a matter, you know, what brand you want to use, what your fingertips say. Okay. Another question. Good Lord, y'all they ain't letting us go, Cheryl. Okay. We cool though. We here for it. This is the dumbest shit. Because obviously this was a good topic here. Okay. All right. So here we go. Question. What about semi-permanent dye? Do we need a conditioner after that? I'm going to say probably not. If you're using a good one, because believe it or not, semi-permanents are actually considered conditioners. I'm just saying. Semi-permanents are designed to fill in, like Cheryl said, those cuticle layers and make the color look richer. So you don't really want to put too much conditioners on after that, because then you'll render it ineffective. But what you do want to use after you use a good conditioner is some good ass hair grease or some cheap hair oil to make that shit shine. And how do I know? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I'm the person for that answer.
And always remember, the word conditioner comes from Madison Avenue. It's really not a professional term, because conditioning just means reversing, because you have to remember, at best, when you're doing a chemical service, the only thing that you actually should be worried about is that scalp skin. Because baby, if you ain't comfortable, you ain't processing. So it don't make a difference. So the best thing I can do, conditioning, is reversing the pH prevalence and returning the pH back to normal. That actually is what conditioning is. Case in point.
And that is going to happen. Can you please add that's during a chemical process, which is why we're going to be launching the first fiber, because we're seeing so many mistakes made, even with hair professionals. And please look at some of my old videos. Y'all see I was just on some pseudo shit, so y'all can see the growth and why education is so important, right? Because you could be making these, you know, mistakes. So that chemical process is what's when you use a demi-permanent, you're not really chemically altering, you're chemically coating the hair. And that's why semis are more likely use what we might call fillers or refreshers or coverage or tone. And so these are professional work. So like conditioning to a professional doesn't necessarily mean a product. Conditioning can also be, like Cheryl said, a process to reverse, but you have to have the knowledge.
Right. Let me give you a good example. When you bodybuild or you go into the gym, what is the first thing they do? They tell you to do reps, and then they say, in order to build bulk, you want your muscles to go into recovery. So you drink all these protein shakes, and then you wait 2 days when your muscle recovers. Now, what happens when you don't recover? You get lactic acid buildup and you get sore, right? But if the muscle recovers, because when you're lifting weights, you're tearing down the muscle to get it to build back up. The point is that when you neutralize a curl, you're returning the pH back to where it was prior to the service. That is a conditioning.
And that's what makes your hair still right. And that's what still makes it natural. So when people keep telling you, if you alter your hair, it's not natural, tell them to shut up. Just because you alter it, it doesn't mean it's not your hair.
Right. You can't change. You altered its cosmetic optical illusion. You didn't change the genetic structure because it's still keratin and it's still fibrous. I know culturally. We're not talking culturally. In the natural hair movement, the culture led the movement. When you have the culture lead the movement, you make yourself susceptible to barons, product barons, right? Product barons, educational barons, imposters, people who just say anything. And that is what basically happened. That's a very good soundbite that we just did right there. Very important. Because
I'm
the
hoping
only
you guys,
way we're going to get this thing back into our communities, because I'm going to tell you something. The reason why Thursday and this Thursday is so important, because let me tell you something. If we had 2 more Poros and 2 more Madam Walkers, we would not be talking about 350,000 Black women losing their job, and we wouldn't even give a shit, because they would go to Poro and they would go to Madam C.J. Walker and they would go to Mayor Garrett Morgan and then they would go to California Curve. They would go places in our cultural industry. And they will be able to become agents and this and that. And because at the end of the day, in 1924, she had 29,000 agents. That's the point. And so that is one of the reasons why I believe, and I'm so glad there's so many wonderful hairstylists on the chat tonight, because this business is designed spiritually, cosmically, ancestrally, alchemically, physically and culturally and economically designed for us to win. Point blank. There are certain industries that I believe that Black people just excel: sports, entertainment, culinary, and hair and beauty and fashion. We are the world's tastemakers.
Yeah.
And so I truly believe that.
Yeah. You've always wondered about heat protectants being in oil, serums, and leave-ins. Any thoughts? Yeah, no such thing. And I know no. It's just, again, and we talked about this earlier, that type of language is coming from this new thing called influencers. What else you call them? Motivational speakers,
product ambassadors, right?
Ambassadors. These people are you can make money on social media. This is their job. They get up, they turn the computer on, they prop their screen up, and they just start talking. Listen, during the pandemic, people was like, I ain't making no money. Oh, good Lord. I made some money during that pandemic popping up that screen. So I'm telling you guys, you've got to watch out. Heat protectants. That is no. It's like Cheryl said, companies will capitulate. They will capitulate because they say, oh, well,
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
They're all saying heat protectors. They're all saying low porosity. They're all saying 4C hair. Put it on the bottles, because we're making this stuff up. So they're just responding. But before that, no such thing as heat protectants. No such thing as heat protectants being in oil, serums, and leave-in conditioners. Don't waste your money. You want to protect your hair from the heat? Just put a hat on, okay?
Let me ask you another question. Let me ask you a question, Kilolo.
Go ahead.
Other than you improperly using heat, what is it about heat that you're protecting your hair from?
I'm gonna tell you right now, I am so vain.
Come on now.
I'm so vain.
How vain are you?
I am so vain. I will put heat on this hair every damn day if that's what I need to do.
Okay, so people,
I'm not protecting my hair
besides using the right heat level and the heat application, what is it about heat that you're protecting the hair from? Does heat vapor, just heat in and of itself bad? Because you guys love to get under the steam. Y'all love to get under that infrared lamp. Y'all love to do them hot oil treatments. I want to know.
Well, they got the flat irons with the steam. Remember the Maxi Glide? You put the water I
Mhm.
had that damn thing work like a. Ooh, I loved it. I wonder where you look at the Maxi Glide. I'm sure you sent me a clip.
Yeah.
Michelle Obama stylist was on TV with the
Right. They on
steam.
all on Tamron Hall. Tamron Hall.
Yeah,
Okay,
we got the
now,
steamers and everything.
so now you're using heat, water, and tension.
Oh wait,
Okay.
here's what you're protecting it from. Here you go. To keep the curl. Wait a minute. Keep the curl pattern and protecting the curls. Now you got a hairstylist. Come on now. But Sir Pooh ain't got nothing to do with this podcast. The hairstylist then came. Look at this. He got some damn heat in his mouth. He got some heat, but he ain't got no heat. He is a real cosmetologist. Look his ass up in the state of Ohio. Sir Pooh, he the coldest, baby. Look at his picture. He got heat in his hand, but he ain't got no heat. You can't even get booked with his ass. Now, y'all might can get an appointment with me in a couple of months. But Sir Pooh, oh no, boo-boo. Y'all gonna have to say Ladosha said. Ladosha said. Now, go ahead.
But
girl.
but
I'm sorry, Sir Pooh, I had to put you on the spot like that.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. So now only not relaxed girls, not silk press girls. Only you naturals have this schizophrenia about losing your curl pattern after the heat straightens out all the cuticles, and the cuticles are going the same way, like shackles on a roof. They all going the same way. The light hits it and so beautifully straight, and y'all take the comb and make the hair dance like that, and just be reflecting the light and and all that good stuff. Then when you return back wet, now you want the cuticle to go this way to form a coil. Now let me ask you this. Which hair most likely will return to the natural coil? It's going to be the hair from the scalp to maybe around about right here. Y'all need to stay away from them silk presses if y'all got 6 inches of hair longer. Old hair is going to absorb that heat. So stay your ass away from them silk presses if y'all got all this long hair.
Especially if you have that high coil count. Now, my texture, I've been flat ironing my hair for probably all my life, okay?
And that shit still curl up.
It's still, but my texture is not as tight as Sasha. So the tighter the texture and you put the heat, you're not gonna be able to keep that afro.
That's a good point, Kilolo. Now why? Mm-hmm. Now Kilolo got white folks hair. Okay.
As a Negro, as color.
Okay, I understand that, but you got that texture. Okay. Now, the straighter the hair, the strand gets rounder. The high the coil count, them 4C babies. I'm gonna say that because not that dog, because that coil count is
it's a little she got good. Okay.
It's disguised. You can't use her. You screw around and her ass gonna stay straight.
Your mannequin right there. Just gonna grab your mannequin. Because your mannequin, there she go. There you go. There we go.
Okay, now if it's like this, that means the hair strand is flatter. That hair gets straighter than Ladosha's hair.
Come on now. Showing the mannequin again. I don't think they hear you though.
They don't hear you.
One more again. Yeah, grab her one
Okay.
more time.
No.
That's
I'm
Nene.
on that
She
Nene.
about to, that's Nene back there.
Okay, now to prove my point,
Uh-oh.
when you get done with your paper towel, you got the brown in the middle, right? You got the brown core in the middle, right? That's the medulla, right? So once you get down to your last little white paper towel, right? And you got nothing but the brown tube, but it looks like a tube. That's Ladosha's hair. But when you peel that thing apart and that thing is springing like a coil, and you flatten that piece of paper out, it's actually flat. You let it go, it's springing up. So it's an optical illusion. So actually, really tight hair actually is straighter in the strand. The diameter is so smaller than Ladosha's texture. And that's why her hair can take more heat in return because of its shape and how heat distributes along the diameter of the hair strand. Them kinks coilies, baby, that hair actually is flat. And so when you go down with that hot comb a couple of times, baby, that hair gonna be straight as
Ain't
the
no
white woman.
heat.
Because white
Ain't no
women's
heat
hair,
protectant. Ain't no amino acids. Ain't no deep conditioners. Ain't no protein recoveries. Ain't no what you call those things, hot steamers. It's not going to work. If you have Afro hair like Nene back there that Cheryl has, then you don't want to straighten that hair too much.
often.
If you right, you can straighten it, but not too
Now,
often.
if you want to have
that,
some natural relaxer, keep straightening it. It ain't gonna go back.
yeah, and then you're gonna be all right. You gonna be all right. If you have hair like, if you got hair like Seisha, you know,
It's gonna
it'll
have some
take a
bounce
little
back.
bit longer. Seisha's hair can become flaxen and become softer. Right, yeah. Now my hair, oh no, as soon as I put some water on it, okay, it's going back. It's gonna go head on. It's gonna go back. I'm gonna have some curls in there because we just explained to you the science of hair. Yeah, this podcast is fire. I listen here. Y'all done rocked it out with us for 2 hours and 15 dang on minutes. So clearly,
We love
this is
y'all.
something that you guys want to talk about. Now, if you thought, yes.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
I'm like, Cheryl, thank you, Sir Pooh. Thank you, Yate, because we need other professionals that will come through and grace us with their simplicity. Like I said, Sir Pooh, I ain't trying to, kiss no butt or nothing, but I'm just telling the truth according to proof. Sir Pooh is a way better hairstylist than I could ever. Listen, I ain't even trying to.
I mean, it is what it is. Some are just exceptional.
And when, right, because you got to tell it. Right, I'm just telling the truth. All right. So when Sir Pooh and them come through and they tell y'all, listen, don't mess around with this stuff. These cats been doing hair. He younger than me, but he been doing hair way longer and so many various capacities. We just don't want y'all wasting no money and wasting time on this concept that something is cheaper or something is more expensive. Something is going to protect it. Something is going to keep it more natural. Something is going to make it organic and all of this. That's really not what's going to happen. But what is going to happen is this birthday shout out right quick. I see you up in here. It's Eleanor's birthday. If we can all go ahead on and give my homegirl a birthday shout out, we appreciate that. Oh, and by the way, if you want to see a lot more of Sir Pooh's work, go ahead on and check him out. He is right here on Instagram. He has, I don't know if he has anything on his YouTube channel, but definitely if you go over to Instagram, you will see some of his work. I think we've done a good job. We're gonna next month. It's a whole new happy birthday, Eleanor. That's a good thing. Also, next month, we're going to start our series on the relaxer. So we're going to have one right here on the dumbest shit. Now, we've done the relaxers before, but what we're starting to hear about the relaxers going in and rearranging the disulfide bonds and using it as a what they call it, a texturizer. Okay, so we're going to help you guys understand the relaxer, and then on the Planet Pluto side for the professionals, we want to give you guys some new proper language, of course, understanding of how relaxers work. I know when I first met Cheryl, I said the same thing. I encourage you guys, again, go through some of my old videos. Y'all gonna be like, oh, Ladosha was pseudo. And I'm leaving them up so you guys can see that growth can happen, but you do have to have education. So I'm not taking anything down because I want people to see that I was once there with you guys as well. So next month is dedicated on both platforms to the relaxers. If you know some hairstylists and some barbers, please tell them to get ready for this series. We're going to kick it off though and on Planet Pluto Pseudo with Auntie Dr. Joy, who's going to help us start our vernal equinox fast with no sugar. Okay, the RDT hair salon. I'm going to invite you guys to rock it out with us for 30 days. Go on the journey, wake up in the middle of the night and just go live and say, oh my God, this sugar, this is the real deal. Holyfield. It's going to mean different things to different people. So that's how we're going to kick it off. This truly, I agree with you, LB. This, Cheryl, how can we say thank you enough for all of the knowledge and patience that you bring to us? What can we say? We just really appreciate your patience, because the ignorance is real. When I say ignorance, guys, I don't mean insulting. Like Yate said, we have to unlearn some stuff.
I think that is the path, because at the end of the day, and believe me, you guys, this has been a process, for me, and listening and following and traveling with Mr. Morrow over and Gene Atkinson and all of those great, Rudy Townsend, all of them being still and being a student. So I'm a microcosm. I'm not just whatever I know and all of that. My teachers were just awesome. And I just got it. You know what I mean? My point is that it's not about, it's about unlearning. And I just appreciate you guys being open. I mean, because let me just say this. Ladosha, what makes Ladosha one of the smartest women I know is because she can literally open up her own head and say, this no longer serves me. Out with it. That, because being smart and knowing what to do and when to do it just means that it takes a level of courage.
Yeah.
Because when it's scary. Right. And then once you gain the knowledge, then you have a ring of truth and you know when something's false.
Right. Yeah. Because that's when it gets. This has been, I'm sorry, it has been a very scary process for me as a professional, because I was so confident and very pretty and very bright and very black and very, licensed and certified and trichologicalized. And I have all of those things too, but I was very wrong. And it was very, very scary for me to have to go back to my customers and I own a hair salon. So y'all know I was teaching that shit to my colleagues too, and some of them have not been retrained that used to work with me, and they're still saying some of the same stuff that was taught, which is, to say it's not easy. We all are going to fall short in somehow, some way, some fashion. But what we want to show you guys here on the dumbest shit that people say about Black hair, it sounds like a very mean title, but it's really making fun and getting people to lighten up. And I'm always using myself you know, as an example. And like we said, Cheryl and I, we're not the only people who knows this stuff. You have Yate, you have Sir Pooh. We're going to bring on Mr. Allen from Hair Elements. So we don't want y'all to think for 1 second, y'all act like y'all the only motherfucker that know something. No, we ain't the only motherfucker that know something. We're just trying to, you know, share it with you guys. So get ready, join us on Thursday. We're going to have the lovely Christiana Carnegie. She's going to come back with part 2. And we're going to go more in depth into her career. And the reason being is because of what Cheryl said. We need to understand our space and our place in this space, in this place, when it comes to Afro hair care. This is our inheritance, and we need to learn it and know it so that we can be able to apply it to help you guys out just a little bit more than what we're doing. So we'll see you guys here on Thursday. Don't forget to share. Cheryl, I love you. Everybody, love you, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram. We appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts. You know what we say when we're signing out, right? We're always saying, we're talking about a whole lot of peace, for sure. Look at my shirt. A whole lot of love. And yep, a whole lot of hair. But remember, if you don't have it, you don't want it, you can't stand it. Hell, you plan on cutting off, which we're going to get a series on bald heads, okay? Men and women. We're going to do a series on bald heads, okay? All of that don't matter. Bald patches, please, y'all. We just don't worry about it, because all of that is beautiful too. And so are you. And thank you guys so very much. Cheryl, you are the bomb.com. Thank you, Lawana. Thank you. And Lawana, Sandra, and WK, our virtual host. We appreciate you guys so much for rocking it out with us. Okay.
And happy birthday, Eleanor.
All right. Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, Eleanor. All right. And y'all have a wonderful night. See y'all on Thursday. All right. Deuces, my good people. Deuces. Sure, you ready for the chit chat tonight?
I'm ready.
Bam, bam, bam. He or she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now,
We're coming. Get our check.
Cheryl Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
Well, it was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed your birthday. It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips.